Hey, there's an island at the bottom of Japan with glowing sea caves, wild manta rays, and Wagyu quality beef at half the price. That's Ishigaki. And the catch is that everything worth doing is spread across a small island with limited transport, so which beach on which morning actually matters. I mapped out the whole 4-day route into a template, so if you want it, the link's in the description. Ishigaki sits closer to Taiwan than Tokyo subtropical, year-round, with spring and fall hitting the sweet spot for warm water and thin crowds. Day 1 is about learning what this island tastes like, then walking it off through downtown and underground. The public market inside Euglena Mall is 3 floors of seafood, produce, and a food court, basically a crash course in what Ishigaki actually eats. Ishigaki beef, a Wagyu cousin raised on the island, shows up here as skewers and bowls at a fraction of mainland prices. Come before 10:30, when the stalls are fully stocked and the cruise ship tour groups haven't arrived yet. Bring cash, because the best stalls don't take cards, and if you see a seafood bowl topped with uni and ikura, that's the one. Ishigaki's entire downtown is roughly 4 blocks along Route 730 izakayas, craft beer bars, boutiques, all clustered in a walkable strip. This is where locals actually eat and drink after dark charcoal grilled beef, Okinawan soba, craft beer, not just where tourists get shuttled. Late afternoon is the sweet spot because shops are fully open, the day trip crowds have left, and you can roll straight into dinner. The downtown is so compact you can walk it in 20 minutes, which is honestly both the charm and kind of the ceiling. A limestone cave formed over hundreds of thousands of years, about a 30-minute walk through with dramatically lit stalactites and stalagmites. The color lighting is a choice, but the temperature drop at the entrance is the real reward on a humid day. Because it's fully indoors and cool, it works as a natural break between the downtown stroll and wherever you're having dinner. The full loop takes about 30 minutes, quick enough that it doesn't eat your afternoon, interesting enough that it doesn't feel like filler. Day 2 heads north to the coastline that puts Ishigaki on every postcard emerald bays, turtle reefs, and a hilltop where 2 oceans are visible at once. Kabira Bay is Ishigaki's most photographed viewpoint emerald. Water white sand islets, dense forest behind you, and one of Japan's official top 100 scenic views. Swimming is banned because the bay is an active black pearl farm with dangerous currents. An absurdly beautiful tropical bay you can only look at. Take the glass-bottom boat from the kiosk near the parking lot. It's the only way to see the coral and fish up close. Get here before 9:30 because tour buses arrive around 10 and the morning light on the water is better before clouds build. This is Ishigaki's best accessible snorkeling. Beach coral reefs start right off the sand, and sea turtles show up regularly, no boat needed. The reef is part of the Yaeyama Coral Network, one of the largest in Japanese waters, and it's genuinely steps from the beach. Because you're already up north after Kabira Bay, afternoon timing works. You finally get in the water after the morning's look but don't touch routine. Water shoes help on the rocky entry, and bring your own snorkel gear if you have it, because rental quality is hit or miss. The observation platform sits on Ishigaki's northern cape, where the Pacific Ocean meets the East China Sea from the same viewpoint. On a clear day, you can see Iriyomoti Island to the west, and the reef below stretches out in turquoise against deep blue, like a helicopter shot. Most tour groups skip this in favor of Kabira Bay, which means you might have the whole viewpoint to yourself. After seeing Kabira from sea level and Yonehara from the water, this is the angle that makes the entire north coast click. Day 3 is the big ocean Daegoing Cave, wild manta rays, and the sunset beach to collapse on at the end. A sea cave where sunlight refracts through the entrance and makes the water glow electric blue from below, a real optical phenomenon, not a filter. You can only reach it on a guided tour, but the snorkeling outside the cave is full of coral and fish too. Morning tours get the strongest blue effect because direct sun hits the entrance book the earliest boat, especially in peak season when groups stack up. Reserve a few days ahead since this is now one of Ishigaki's most popular activities, and overcast days dull the glow noticeably. Ishigaki is one of the few places on Earth where you can reliably snorkel with wild manta rays, giant ones, wingspans wider than you are tall. The mantas aren't fed or trained. They gather at cleaning stations where smaller fish groom them, and you float above trying to remember how to breathe. Because you're already in the north after the Blue Cave, stacking both big water experiences into one day while you're out here just makes sense. Take motion sickness medication 30 minutes before the 15-minute boat ride can be choppy, and know that sightings peak May through October but are never guaranteed. A long west-facing beach on Ishigaki's western shore. After 2 ocean activities, the only move left is sitting down and watching the sky turn. The beach faces directly west across the East China Sea, so the sunset here is essentially geometry doing the work for you. Grab food from the stall near the resort entrance. Take it to the sand. The beach is long enough that it never feels crowded. The beach is long enough that you'll find your own patch of sand. Just arrange a ride back before it gets dark. Day 4 is the cultural reset. A 10-minute ferry to a tiny island where water buffalo pull carts down white sand streets lined with red tile roofs. A 10-minute ferry drops you on Taketomi red tile roofs, stone walls, shisa guardians on every rooftop, preserving Ryukyuan kingdom architecture you won't find on the mainland. The cultural counterweight to 3 days of beaches and snorkeling. A traditional village where the loudest sound is a water buffalo cart creaking down a sand path. Rent a bicycle at the port because you want the village streets before midday crowds. The whole island takes under an hour by bike. Book an ox cart ride early if you want one. They sell out, but the quiet streets behind the village center are worth more of your time. The only beach on Taketomi where swimming is allowed. Fine white sand, calm water protected by the reef. A short walk from the village center. After cycling the village all morning, this is the payoff. Shallow, calm water, no motorized boats, and the kind of quiet where you notice the wind. Because this is the only designated swimming beach on the island, midday gets crowded with ferry day trippers. The early and late windows are calmer. Bring a hat and water because there's almost no natural shade and the facilities here are minimal. After the ferry back from Taketomi, this west-facing beach on Ishigaki's northern coast is a low-effort, last sunset, more rugged and less crowded than Fusaki. You're in the far north here, which means fewer tourists, more wind, and a long stretch of white sand with nothing but the waves for a soundtrack. Grab a drink at the nearby cafe and let the trip end after mantas and glowing caves. A silent beach at dusk is the right closing note. The north is far from town and drivers vanish after sunset. Sort your taxi before dark, because this isn't a place you want to be stuck. Manta rays, glowing caves, Ryukyuan villages, and sunsets into open ocean. 4 days on Ishigaki delivers more than most islands manage in a week. I put the whole 4-day route into an editable template with an interactive map. Grab it from the link in the description or the pinned comment. Let me know in the comments if you found a spot on Ishigaki I missed, or tell me which stop you'd swap for something else.